And don't miss Magic. Magic Johnson, live 9:30 Eastern today on The Process, the Nets, the Lakers, and so much more. Plus, the tide may be turning in Green Bay. Why it suddenly looks like this could end far better and far sooner than we expected. All that and more as we get up with you starting right now. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Greeny with you on a Monday from the Seaport. We are jam-packed and we are full up. Take a look at the crew we've got over here talking football today. Mike Tannenbaum, Chris Canty, and Dan Graziano. The size disparity is somewhat jarring, even from here. We will have plenty of football to get to, but we begin, of course, with the NBA's Game of the Night, Game 7. Sixers hosting the Hawks. Joel Embiid, Trae Young, pick it up in the fourth, a good game. Entering the fourth, Trae Young really struggling, only 11 points, but he starts to cook when it matters most. Under 7 to go, Hawks are down 4, and Young gets this one to go, and it's a 2-point game. Under 4 minutes to play now. We're tied at 86. What a night Kevin Huerter had. When they needed buckets, he was there to get them. Over Seth Curry, Atlanta's got the lead. 3.5 to play. Here's the play everyone is talking about this morning. Ben Simmons appears to have an open dunk, but instead he gives it up to Matisse Thybulle, who would get fouled. That's a wide open slam. Simmons did not attempt a shot in the fourth quarter. Meanwhile, Hawks up 1, 3 minutes to go. Young almost loses it. Then he throws it up, and Clint Capella throws it down. It's a 3-point Atlanta lead. 30 seconds later, same score. Young, there it is. He would finish with 21. Hawks up 6. A minute left. Hawks lead is 1. Big moment. Huerter pulling up for 3. Thybulle gets him in the head. That's 3 foul shots. He'd make them all. Kevin Huerter scored a team-high 27, Atlanta by 4. Next Sixer possession. Season on the line. Embiid stripped. We're going the other way. Danilo Gallinari, uncontested. Oh, my goodness, Atlanta wins. They take Game 7, 103-96, advancing to take on Milwaukee in the Eastern Conference Finals. And for Philly, the questions will not stop.
Man, I'll be honest. I thought the turning point was, when I don't know how to say it, but I thought the turning point was just, we had an open shot.
You think Ben Simmons can still be a point guard for a championship team?
Yeah, David, I don't know that question or the answer to that right now. Still believe in him, but we have work to do. We're going to have to get in the gym, put a lot of work in, and go forward.
That's some pretty telling comments there from the two most important people on the team. Ben Simmons, as I mentioned, didn't take a shot in the fourth quarter last night, but that was not unusual. In 5 of the 7 games of this series, he did not take a shot in the fourth quarter. By the way, he has 4 years and $146 million left on his contract. Here's Big Perk. Here's PJ Carlesimo. Gentlemen, let's get into it. Big Perk, what is the right thing to say this morning about Ben Simmons?
Well, the right thing to say is that Joel Embiid needs to get on the phone with Elton Brand, Daryl Morey, and Doc Rivers and say it's time to break this up, meaning get rid of Ben Simmons, okay, and get him some Neosporin, Vaseline, I don't know what, because he's allergic to offense, okay, and he breaks out and hides every time he touches the basketball, and it's time for him to score. Here's the thing. I don't even know if Ben Simmons is a point guard. I don't know if he's a forward. He might be a center. You might need to run pick and rolls and have him lob into the basket. But this is unacceptable watching him play. You're talking about a guy that was an all-star this year, and you can't deliver 12 to 15 points, average that in this series. If you do, they win the Philadelphia 76ers would have got past the Hawks. It's just disturbing to see. I tried to give Ben Simmons the benefit of the doubt, but he's just not the answer, especially for this Philadelphia 76ers team.
He had 5 points in total last night, as you mentioned. PJ, how much of it is fair? How fair is it, I guess is a better way to put it, to place the majority of this on Simmons?
It's fair, but you got to deal with it. He's got a contract. He's got a track record of excellent play. I mean, Perk mentioned he was an all-star. He was an all-NBA player. He led the league in steals. He's a 3-time all-star. You have to deal with it. Last night, any comments a coach or a player are going to make right after getting beat in the Game 7 when they're the number 1 seed and they're aspirations for this year was to win the championship. That's fine. Everything's fine to say it right now, but what are you going to do? Ben's got some issues right now, and the issues have to be dealt with. He's also got a contract, but I mean, he's more talented than most of the people in the league. So, it's no secret. There's only 30 teams in this league. Is his value down? Yeah, his value's down, but this is the NBA. There's a number of teams that would love to deal with Ben Simmons right now and try and straighten it out.
So I want to make sure I'm clear. When you say you got to deal with it, I get it. He's got a contract. You can either trade him or you can try and deal with it. But what is it? What are you doing? No one has been able to unlock this. They bring in Doc Rivers to unlock the secret to this, and he can't do it. So what is the answer? What would you do?
The answer is, I don't know that I have the answer, but you have to try. You try and get somebody in to talk to him. His problems are in his head right now. It's not a question of ability. Is he a good shooter? No, he's not a good shooter. But he does enough other things on the floor on an all-league basis. I mean, we're talking an all-NBA, three-time All-Star. Who's kidding who? He's a great talent. You have to figure out how to use him, and you got to try and get his head straightened out, assuming the problems are in his head.
Here's the problem. I think you can both be right at the same time, Big Perk. The bottom line is you can be a good player in the NBA and be Ben Simmons. But he's not supposed to be a good player. He's supposed to be an elite player. He's supposed to be doing the things that the Devin Bookers and Kevin Durants of the world are doing in the playoffs right now. And Perk, I think what you're saying is he just can't.
Yeah, he can't. And look, this is the problem, right? We talk about him being a three-time All-Star and an All-NBA player, but right now he's playing like a role player. This is a guy that's supposed to be a Robin to Embiid as a Batman, and he's not delivering that. Averaging 9 points is just not going to get it. I played with a lot of Hall of Famers in my career, and I know what to expect out of your Robin, and what he's doing is completely unacceptable. I mean, he's literally running away from the offensive end. He's shying away from the basketball. I don't know, how do you fix that? Because he's proven to us time and time again, every year, that he's not going to take the shots. And here you got a guy in Giannis, coach, that are taking three-point shots, are not afraid of the moment right now. Make or miss, he's actually taking those shots. And we just watched the clip where Ben Simmons passed up on a wide-open dunk. I don't know about this.
Perk, I'm with you. That was inexcusable. But Joel Embiid had 8 turnovers, including the one you just showed with 44 seconds to go. You talk about the turning point in the game. That was a heck of a turning point, too. So don't just throw Ben under the bus. Matisse Thybulle fouls a guy and puts him on the line for 3. That's a team loss. That's not a Ben Simmons loss.
I hear you. But at least at the end of the game, Joel Embiid is on the floor, and Ben Simmons can't even be on the floor. They can't even put him on the court, PJ, because he won't touch the ball. They'll foul him immediately if he does.
I agree, Greeny. Right now, there's no question. But again, what are we going to do? People are going to want to take that opportunity.
That's
fine.
Stay with me.
Somebody else
will come back to
them.
this. Couple of minutes. We'll get you guys back in here. We'll continue sort of hashing this thing out, because that's only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to that game and that series. And we'll talk about it with that man as well. The great Magic Johnson with us live in our studio, 9:30 Eastern this morning. Don't miss it. He'll also be on First Take immediately following us. Meanwhile, the big NFL story of the moment, of the season,